you see that Moses, or that God wasn't going to go with it anymore, right? He's not going to destroy the people. That's encouraging. You're not going to get destroyed. And what does he say? You're going to get the promised land, the very land that flows with milk and honey. And I'm going to send my angel, and he's going to clear out the inhabitants, right? He says you're going to get the promises. You're going to get the promises. You're going to get the promised land. But God is not going to be with them. Imagine if you got all your dreams in the world came true. All your dreams, your kingdom dreams, the good dreams, they all come true. You get everything you want. And you reach heaven. But God did not walk with you, and he was not in heaven. Would you want to go to heaven? Sometimes we could be in it just for the benefits of God and not for God himself. And that's what's happening here. Look on in verse 12. Moses continues to intercede. It says, Moses said to the Lord, you have been telling me to lead these people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. You have said, I know you by name, and you have found favor with me. If you are pleased with me, teach me your way, so that I may know you and continue to find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people. And that's pretty tough. He's talking to God. He says, remember that this nation is your people. The Lord replied, my presence will go with you, Moses. He's talking to Moses. And I will give you rest. So Moses hasn't won him over yet, right? Then Moses said to him, if your presence does not go with us, do not send us from here. How will anyone know that you are pleased with me and with your people unless you go with us? What else would distinguish me and your people from all other people on the face of the earth? And the Lord said to Moses, I will do the very thing you have asked, because I am pleased with you and I know you by name. You know, Moses saw something, his love for the people. I did this lesson on glory in his presence, glory in his people, and glory in his promises. We're going to look at a couple of those things today. It was an amazing Bible study reading through this. Moses loved God's people so much. And I often wonder, was God playing? I'm going to destroy you. Was he really? Now, he was serious. Someone got the plague. They died. And these people, they actually didn't even enter the promised land. God was serious. But what was developed here? Moses' love for the people. You know, he interceded. He was fine. He's like, I'm going to heaven. I'm going to get the reward. I'm going to become a great nation. But he wasn't good with that. And the truth is, and when we go to heaven, we got to look to the right and to the left and go, you're coming with me. I am not good with you not being there. I will plead with God for you. Amen. That's a side point. That wasn't in my notes. But amen. Let's keep going.
Spirit.
You know, Moses asked, he sees this idea. And if you're going to go to heaven, you've got to have an understanding of his presence. You've got to love his presence. If you long for heaven, you've got to take action. But you've got to love his presence. Moses says, what else will distinguish us from all the other people on earth? Moses sees that it's important that God is with them. Would you really want your life? If you really got all your dreams and you really got to go to heaven, would you want it if God wasn't there? That's what he says here. I'm going to give you the promised land. Go on up. Leave now. Just go. Get out of here. I'm staying right here. And Moses says, we're not going to go anywhere until you're coming with us. You know, do you really want to go to heaven? Do you really? Or is it just a good idea? That's what I'm supposed to say. I'm at church. I got to go to heaven. Right? Or do you really want to be with God? You know, the truth is, I often wonder with people who struggle with having quiet times. And when I struggle with having quiet times, I wonder, why do I struggle? Why would I want to go to heaven if I don't like spending time with God now?
Well,
why do I want to go to heaven? The truth is, we know very little about heaven. Very little. One of the simple truths we know that God is there. God is there. In hell, God is not there. So I want to go where God is, right? Why don't you spend time with him now? really love his presence? Do you love walking with him? Do you love talking to him? Do you love being close to God? Are you like the psalmist in Psalm 63? Oh, God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. Do you long for God's presence? Do you wake up every morning thinking, I want to walk with God? It's easy to think, well, I want to go to heaven. It's easy to think, well, I'm going to long to be there, and we should. But you've got to love his presence now. You've got to love his presence now. That will propel you to heaven. An alien purpose is to long for heaven. Do whatever it takes to get there. You know, we're not going to turn here, but in 1 Peter chapter 2, it calls us a holy nation, that we're called out of darkness into light. Amen? And we're called out to do what? To declare praises of God. You know, I don't know when I'm going to heaven. If I go to heaven right now, amen. My kids are safe. I think I'm doing good. My wife's doing good. She's doing great. You know, but if God called me, amen, we're going. That'd be awesome. But what do we do till we get there? What do we do till we get there? And aliens long for his glory. Let's pick it back up in Exodus 33, in verse 18. You still with me? Yeah. Do you long to go to heaven? Is that your longing? The second point is, aliens live for his glory. They live for his glory. And this point fires me up, so I'm going to get a little excited, if that's okay with you. I got to loosen the tie a little bit. We're going to go for it. It says that Moses said, now show me your glory. And the Lord said, I will cause my goodness to pass in front of you, and I will proclaim my name, the Lord, in your presence. You know, Moses wanted to see God's glory. You know, Moses asked God, he says, show me your glory. Jerry Maguire said, show me the money. Moses said, show me your glory. Show me your glory. He wanted to see glory. Glory, what does that mean? It's honor won by notable achievement, magnificence, beauty. That's what glory is. And you think about, up to this point, what had Moses seen? I mean, this is a pretty audacious thing to ask God to do. What had he seen? Okay, he's seen the burning bush. He saw all the plagues. That's pretty amazing. That's God's power. That's God's notable achievement. The Exodus, they pretty much robbed all the Egyptians. That was awesome. They get to leave. The Red Sea, the manna, the quail, the tent of meeting, cloud, fire. He spoke to the Lord face to face, and he's here. And what is he saying? He's saying, show me your glory. He wanted to see more. Do you long for God's glory? Do you want to see God's glory? God's notable achievements in your life, on your campus, in your city. An alien, they live to see God's glory. They live to declare the praises of God. I've seen some amazing glory in God's church. Baptisms, weddings. I've seen the church endure and survive through difficult times. Amen. I've seen immense challenges and the perseverance, the things that they went through. And I've seen the church thrive. I've seen it advance the gospel in a powerful way. Personally, in my own life, I've seen God's achievements in so many ways. He has changed my sinful, ugly heart. I've got a sinful, ugly heart. And I still got a long way to go. But he has changed me. Amen. And to God be the glory. Amen. Amen. You know, he's changed me. Have you asked God to show me your glory? Is this your mindset? Do you want to see God achieve more in your life? Do you want to see his glory? Do you want him to see more in his city? I love the Chris Tomlin song, God of the City. Greater things can be done in this city. I love singing that song. And I've been praying. Since I read this, I've been praying every day. God, show me your glory. Show me your glory. I look at myself and I think, I'm so sinful. I'm so messed up. God, Please just show me your glory. Have mercy on me. Help me. Change me. Show me notable achievement. I want to change. I want to be different. I'm tired of doing the same old thing that I always struggle with. Come on, please. God, show me your glory right here, right now in my heart. Do you want to see God's notable achievement in your life? Do you want to see God's notable achievement in your city? You know, I got a few more months in San Antonio, then I'm going to College Station. And when I go to College Station, I sat there with 87,000 Aggies, and we're screaming every third down, oh, you were going crazy, it's fired up, and I can't wait to take the gospel there. I can't wait to see God's glory on that campus. There's 47,000 students and not one disciple. We're going there. Amen. Because I want to see God's glory. Do you want to see God's glory? Look at how God responds. In chapter 34, this is awesome. In verse 5, it says, Then the Lord came down in the cloud and stood there with him, and proclaimed his name, the Lord, and passed in front of Moses. The Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebelliousness, and sin. And then down in verse 10, it says, Then the Lord said, I am making a covenant with you before all your people. I will do wonders never before done in any nation in all the world. The people you live among will see how awesome is the work that I, the Lord, will do for you. Wow, that's pretty awesome, right?